Behold, the gates of heaven upon this world wide opens. The presence of God descends upon men. This is the famous church of Sacred Heart of Jesus, built some 125 years ago. This sleepy village Idaikattur boasts this beautiful and exceptionally marvelous temple of God. No man has ever seen the delights of God than the people of Idaikattur in Sivagangai district of India's southern state, where this pinnacle of the Sacred Heart of Jesus prods and beckons God's unending grace. This church was built by local people on the model of Sacred Heart of Jesus Church in Reims in France. It is also believed that angels had built this church, which radiates God's power. History is that just before construction could start, a dispute arose between the parish priest and the villagers, predominantly Hindus. By mistake, the priest had encroached the land of the villagers, who refused to donate the land since the kings of this region had donated it to them. A suit was filed. The civil case was prolonged for years. Then a new judge came and arranged for a commission of advocates to inspect the site in question and to study the problem by comparing the cost of the construction over the site occupied and the cost of land occupied by the priest. The leader of the commission had a dream on the previous night of his arrival at Idaikattur. In his dreams, he found a big building being built by hundreds of angels in full swing. The next day of his dream, the leader of the commission reached Idaikattur and was astonished because there was the same building that he saw in the dream. He asked the parish priest to continue his work since it was chosen by God himself and constructed by angels. Then the leader of the commission called the villagers and told them about the dream. He asked them to donate the place occupied. The villagers convened a meeting and discussed the problem. They too were convinced of God's presence in the place. Since the church was said to be built by angels, 153 depictions of angels in and around the church was placed. Relics of 40 saints in 4 elliptical shaped wooden bowls, which rest over the wooden heart in the main altar portion, is also seen in the church. It is constructed with 200 different types of molded bricks and tiles in lime mortar. They are used for its decoration. The inner Gothic arches rest over the columns embedded with ribs, its corner rising up to the vaulted roof. The windows are decorated with small brick pillars adjoined with hollow flower bricks and stained glass works, which depicts the events of the Way of Cross colorfully and beautifully. Utilization of the hollow brick in the construction reduces the heat, and also there is a vacuum gap between inner vaulted roof makes an air-conditioned system below the shelter of the wall. The stucco figures and the statues of saint, angels, and the Sacred Heart of Jesus, his foster father Saint Joseph, and the Holy Family statue with golden gilt and the Mother of Sorrows are of great beauty and symbol of ancient French artwork. Historical events of the conversion given by Saint John de Brito to Kattai Devan, son-in-law of Kilavan Sethupathi, king from Hinduism to Christianity, and Brito's sentence to death by King Kilavan Sethupathi are depicted in stained glass work on northern and southern entrance facade. The main altar of the church is more beautiful, with gigantic Gothic facade of 45 feet high with stucco figures of God the Father holding his only crucified Son Jesus by his hands, and the Holy Spirit proceeding from his chest, surrounded by angels in clouds, and in the glittering gold rays of the sun around the whole work or relief from the wall. The main altar depicts the doctrine of Christianity, or the Trinity, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit in one and the same. The Gothic arches are decorated with rows of beads, flowers and garlands. They all are in terracotta works.